this, and as the title says, this is going to be as requested by a lot of people, and I was going to review this bad boy anyways, but this is New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom 3, which was, what was it, this last week, I guess? And pretty groovy show, I will just automatically say, and as the title says, you know, the title says Wrestle Kingdom 3 and a plea to TNA. I'm just going to put this out there right now. TNA, if you by chance come upon this video, if you by chance just love to watch my videos and laugh at me and say what kind of a moron I am, I don't give a damn. I really don't. I'm just going to make this, if you release this sucker on DVD, if you're going to release your matches, the TNA matches on DVD, can we please get the whole the show? Please. This was such an awesome show. Please. I understand it would be a 2-disc set probably. I understand all that. I understand not everybody is a guy that you're going to use, though most of the people are people that, you know, at least people should be familiar with, or people you would want people to be familiar with, i.e. Mistico. Please, by God, can we get the full show? You know, it wouldn't be hard. I understand that. I understand that maybe you don't want to spend the money to do it. I'm just asking, I'm pleading. I think lots of wrestling fans would love to see this. Maybe a little Americanized. The promo, you know, the promotional packages with New Japan did, maybe with some subtitles, just so we can get some added, you know, storylines with some of these matches. I am pleading with you. Please release this on the full DVD. I know you probably won't do it. I know I'm probably, you know, just speaking into the camera for no reason whatsoever. But I am begging you. This was such an awesome show. And just, you know, I think, you know, DVD sales are usually primarily the diehard wrestling fans. I think diehard wrestling fans would love this show. I know the last DVD did well enough to where people were kind of shocked that you weren't going to do another one, and then you said you were going to go ahead and do it. So I'm just asking, please, if there's any you know, any way, if there's any true justice, can we please get this full show on the DVD? I'm not saying on the special that you'll probably do like you did last year. I understand that, but you're gonna make us sit through that stupid Team 3D match. Please, by God, you can give us the whole freaking show. Please, please, please. That's all I'm asking. That said, let us get on to the review with this bad boy of a show, and it was a bad boy of a show, and I mean that in a very good way. We got a very nice. I actually got to see the full. I don't think this was a pay-per-view. I think this aired on television. But anyways, the full television show I got to see, no matter where it viewed. And so I got to see all the promo packages and all that. This was excellently done. Groovy stuff. It looked like there was a whole lot of people there. They announced it at 40,000, and I believe they announced last year's at 25, and there was really about 15 there. So, you know, Japanese attendance numbers are not always the most accurate things, but there looked to be a crap load of people there for this show. And the fans seemed to be excited. It seemed to be a big show. I would say particularly for a dome show, for a Tokyo Dome show, and for those of you that don't know, the dome shows are almost always the big. This was also, I think they said this was the 20th or 25th anniversary of the dome show. They did something about that, but this was a big freaking deal. They made it seem like a big freaking deal. It seemed like WrestleMania. This is kind of their WrestleMania. There was lots of good stuff on here. The reviews, when people start reviewing this, I know there are going to be other people that review this, are probably going to be all over the place, because there's lots of stuff of, it depends entirely what you thought of the match. There's going to be a lot of just stuff all over the place. I'm just telling you now. But I recommend this bad boy big time. But let me get on to the matches. I'll talk about the matches here. We get the opening match, which was Mistico, Taguchi, and Prince Devitt versus Averno. I will not get his name right, I know. Averno, Jado and Gedo, who, of course, Jado and Gedo, big time juniors legends in Japan. Well, I shouldn't say legends, but big, you know, semi-legends, I guess, in Japan. Was the opening match. I wasn't looking so forward to this match because I thought Mistico should have been in a match, even a tag match with Liger. But after watching the match, I understood exactly what it was. This match is a little weird, just so if you watch it, because there's basically two matches going on. CMLL definitely wanted to protect Mistico. That's why Averno was in there, as Mistico pretty much only worked with him, and then the other guys basically worked with each other. So you basically had two matches going on, because even as the New Japan guys were out, you know, kind of on the outside doing their thing, the Lucha guys were inside doing their thing. No one really interacted, but that was fine. In the context of this worked, though. You kind of, as soon as you realized what was going on and you said, okay, this is what's going on, then it worked, and I think it worked out pretty good. I thought this was a good match. Would have definitely been better if you would have had more interaction. No doubt about that. Very good opener. Very similar to a Ultimate X opener, for those of you wondering. I would put up with that. Good 3-star, just good match. Good opener. Wasn't actually the first match on the show. It was the first match on the televised portion. So there was that. Then, speaking of Jushin Thunder Liger, we got Jushin Thunder Liger's 20th anniversary match, which was Liger and Sano versus Inoue and Kanemoto? Yeah, I think Koji Kanemoto. And this was a little bit better than the first match. It started out a little slower, but because actually all the guys were able to interact, and this was a little better. Sano was kind of brought the match down a little bit, but once the match did start picking up, I really did enjoy it. Again, I enjoyed this a lot. I thought this was a pretty good match. A lot of good, hard-hitting, type of things. Good little juniors match. I enjoyed it. But I'm a Liger mark, so I can enjoy things like that. Then we had the junior heavyweight title match, tag team title match, which was the Motor City Machine Guns versus Yujiro and Naito, I guess. I haven't really seen these guys. They called themselves No Limit, which I thought was kind of crazy, since, X Division guys taking on a tag team called No Limit, which I thought was kind of interesting. But this was very good in my opinion. I enjoyed this a lot. This is going to be one of those matches where people are going to be kind of, I would imagine, kind of all over the place, depending on how you liked it. Because some people probably think this is a little too spotty. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. Really liked it. As most people know, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin won this match. If you haven't heard, sorry if I spoiled it for you, but if you're watching this, too bad. Pretty good. Really enjoyed it. Lots of good tag team wrestling. I'm a big tag team mark, and the Japanese usually deliver on such things. So that was good. There was a great German suplex in this. There was just your basic Motor City Machine Gun stuff. There was a great spot with a dive that I will not ruin for anyone, but is one of the greatest spot dives I've ever. It was just really cool. Just really good stuff. Though probably not the dive of the night. That goes to Prince Devitt in the opener. He did this crazy freaking dive that I can't even believe he tried to do. But pretty groovy stuff there. That gets 3 3/4. Really like that. Very good match. Then we got the junior heavyweight title match, which was Tiger Mask versus Loki. Tiger Mask 4. And if you have, I am very hit or miss on Tiger Mask, because Tiger Mask seems to me that newest Tiger Mask seems very hit or miss. He'll have a match at some points which are really good, and you go, wow, I can really see this guy being, Tiger Mask. And then he has other matches like this one, which are not so good. Particularly when you're in there with a guy like Loki, who I think most people do consider one of the better guys in the world right now. And this was, it wasn't good, but it was okay, and it was enjoyable, but it wasn't as good as the stuff that was before it. Kind of what it was, seemed to lag a lot, and they tried. I'll give them that, but it just didn't seem to be clicking to me. But that's just my take on it. Next we had the big main event Mafia match with Choshu, Shono, Kurt Angle, and Kevin Nash. And my God, if I did not hear the freaking term NWO a million times during this match, because Chono and Nash were in this match, they were doing a little, you know, the click sign, the NWO sign during a good portion of this match. And this was actually one of the matches I wasn't looking too forward to, as their opponents were Bernard Izuku, I think is his name, Ishii, and Carl Anderson. And I wasn't looking too forward to this. This was actually pretty good, though. They did a really good job at booking this. Kevin Nash definitely came with what he could come with, and did a pretty good job during this match. They started the match off with Bernard and Kevin Nash, basically the two giants going at it, and this was pretty enjoyable, as Shono and Angle and Choshu can pretty much still go, or Shono and Choshu, even though they're older, they can still go, and Kurt Angle, of course, can still go. And this was pretty enjoyable. I did like this. Carl Anderson got on almost no offense in. He was basically definitely there just to do the job. But pretty enjoyable match, much better than I thought it was going to be. I do have one thing to say about this. It'll be interesting when this match airs, as this will definitely be one of the matches that airs. But it'll be very interesting when this airs to see if they show the whole match and the angle that played out, because Bernard attacked Angle after the match and basically looked better than the entire front line has looked up to this point. Now, this match won't air for a while, so they have a chance to make the front line look good. But Bernard basically went in, attacked Kurt Angle, did a pile driver or a set down driver or something, where Kurt landed on his head, basically put Kurt Angle, which is setting up a match they're probably going to do down the road. But that was the thing that dawned on me. I was like, wow, Bernard did basically what the freaking with the front line haven't been able to do for a while. So that kind of threw me a little bit. But this was still a good match, good 3-star. I really enjoyed this because a lot of good. When you have these multi-man tag teams, and this is what kind of always annoys me with WWE and TNA. It's very easy to have a good match because guys don't have to be in there very long. Guys can really hide their weaknesses, and you can just go out there and have it. And this was also fun to see you know, all these legends in one match and basically kind of going at it, you know, even though they were on the same team. But it was pretty good. They actually did a promo backstage, which was very TNA-ish, with them all showing up in the big giant Hummer and all of that. So. It was, and again, there was lots of NWO references to this. I mean, so much so that I was like, good God. If TNA shows that, it's like, just call them the NWO already. I mean, come the freak on. Next we had Yuji Nagata versus Masato Tanaka. This match I was looking very, very forward to. Probably, if there was one match that didn't get enough time, it was probably this. This match, just as it was starting to look like, God, this is going to be awesome, kind of ended. So it was like, it was really good, just didn't get quite enough time. Seemed to kind of stop abruptly. But really good bloody war. I've heard some people call this a war, and that's exactly what it was. It wasn't very long, but it was damn good for as long as it was. And this was for the 0-1 title, which Yuji Nagata has. Masato Tanaka had it. Masato Tanaka, who in my opinion is one of the single most underrated wrestlers in the sport today. I have been a fan of this guy since he was in ECW. When he was in FMW, I felt like he shouldn't have been in FMW, that he should have been in New Japan or All Japan at that time. This guy's, you know, and he's just as good as he ever was. And I've always really enjoyed him. I'm a big Tanaka mark, and really good stuff. I mean, for this match only went about 10 minutes, and this was really, really, really good for 10 minutes. 3.5 there. Then we had the first New Japan versus Noah match that was on this card. They brought in some of the Noah guys for this, which was Akiyama versus Nakanishi, which this was set up, for those of you who don't really understand how this was set up. This was set up because both of these guys were amateur pro wrestlers. Nakanishi ended up beating Akiyama, so this was like the big, and then both guys wound up going on, to these wrestling careers. Akiyama going on to the more prevalent one, Nakanishi not so much. And I'm not a big Nakanishi fan, and this match just showed why, as Akiyama, who I'm a big fan of, just couldn't do this. This match was just kind of there. It was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as I was really looking forward to this. I thought this would be a lot better than it was, and it was just kind of there. But 2.5 stars, kind of just there. Then we got the IWGP Tag Team Title match, which everyone has probably heard of, as Team 3D won tag team titles to add to their legacy in a god-awful fucking match. This match sucked dick, and I do mean that. I hate to say that, but it did. This match, I wanted this match to end badly. I was like, they let this match go. This was not good, and they let it go far too long, and I have no idea why, particularly since it was Team 3D versus Maccabi and Yano, and the match they had last year was, I was probably being kind of nice to give it the rating I gave the match that they had last year at the Dome Show, and this was even worse. I wanted this match to end, and why you would give them more time, I have no idea. The 0-1 match should have gotten, they should have flipped times, because I think it would have worked out better that way. So my only really big gripe on this whole thing, you just heard it. That's my biggest gripe. And because this match sucked balls. Not very good. Missed spots. Sloppy. Which really sucks, because if you're a Team 3D fan, if you're a Dudley Boys fan, this, even if this was okay, it'd be worth watching just to kind of see them, add to their legacy a little bit. But this was not very good, and it was just blah, kind of there. Then we got our second Noah match, New Japan versus Noah match, and this match was all sorts of awesome. It was Nakamura and Gedo versus Misawa and Segura. Jesus, this was awesome. They set this up where Nakamura and Gedo basically wanted to test their might versus Misawa, and Segura was basically there to, help Misawa kind of, I guessed from the promo I saw, defend Noah's honor. But this was all sorts of just hard. I mean, the bell rung. They started going at it. Misawa was going nuts with the forearms and the elbows, and it was awesome. Segura was running around just killing people. Gedo was killing people. Nakamura was killing people. I mean, this was fucking awesome. I loved this. I loved every minute of this. I was marking out big time for this. This was freaking cool. 4.5 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I probably enjoyed this a lot more than a lot of other people enjoyed it, because I love matches like this. I love hard-hitting, just crazy, stiff matches like this. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. Then we had the main event, the IWGP Heavyweight title. Tanahashi, who, if you guys who are not familiar with Japanese wrestling, was recently on TNA, wrestling in the X Division. Yes, he's now in the main event at the biggest show in Japan. Shows you what TNA thought of that guy, I guess. Versus Keiji Muto, the Great Muta, for those of you who don't know, without the Great Muta getup. This was awesome in my opinion. Some people are probably not going to like this as much as others, because the beginning of it is slow and prodding. It is very much both guys grabbing each other's legs, working over the legs, very old school type of stuff. I think most people would enjoy this. This was because there was a lot of psychology where they kept working the legs, and the leg eventually kept coming back on both guys as to how it was working. And then once the match started picking up, it got really good. This was excellent stuff for me, because I'm a big Muto fan, as most people who have watched my videos for a while know. I loved this match. Another 4.5 star match. I really, really enjoyed it. Fucking awesome show. I thoroughly enjoyed this. This is probably one of the best New Japan shows I've seen in forever, and one of the best Japanese shows I have seen in freaking forever. That was not a Dragon Gate show, which they excuse me, mysteriously were not on this show. but pretty much everyone else was. But this was awesome stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed it. This is why I'm like, TNA, please put this whole show on freaking the DVD. This was awesome stuff. Very cool. Very awesome. And I have no reason why they wouldn't do it. I really do. I'm saying that because there's only... As I understand, they have working relationship with pretty much everything on here. Jeremy Borash did the introductions for the 0-1 match, which tells me that that match is going to be on the TV special to start with, if not on the DVD that they already planned. And that's a very good match, don't get me wrong. But there's no reason why you couldn't put the opener on here, because Mistico is definitely a guy that you want to bring in, and Prince Devitt is a guy that you've already shown, so there's no reason to not have that. Most TNA fans know who Liger is. Liger is Liger. That sells itself. You know, you're definitely going to show the Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin match, so there is that. You might not show the Low-Key match, but Low-Key lost. Sorry for the spoiler, but Low-Key lost, so you're not, even if he goes, I saw a rumor he might go to the WWE. I don't think he's going to the WWE, but who knows. But, just, so I don't see any problem there. You have the Main Event Mafia match, which we know is going to, which, if you watch this, this is going to be the main event. The Main Event Mafia will be the main event on the TV special, on the DVD, even though it wasn't even close to the main event of the actual show. But you have, that's going to be on the DVD. Like I said, the Tanaka-Nagata match, Jeremy Borash did the introductions for that, so I'd imagine that's going to be on the show or the DVD. The New Japan versus Noah match, that I don't know about, because I know that there is some sort of working relationship between Noah and TNA, but I don't know if that was just because of Joe, when Joe went to go work for Noah. But, I mean, I can't see why there would be a problem with that, being on the DVD. Of course, we're going to get, the Team 3D match on the DVD. The New Japan versus Noah match, again, like the other New Japan versus Noah match, I can't see a reason why you wouldn't put that on DVD, and it's a fucking awesome match. And, of course, Tanahashi versus Keiji Muto, which, again, Tanahashi has been in your organization already. Most people, once you say, hey, this is Keiji Muto, this is the great Muto without the face paint, are going to understand who this guy is. I don't see any reason why you couldn't do this other than you don't want to spend the production for a 2-disc DVD. That's the only reason I cannot see doing this. But again, I think diehard wrestling fans would buy this. This is an excellent show. I'm giving it a 9.5. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, there's going to be varying opinions on the show, because it depends on how you like certain matches, what you thought of certain matches, all that, like any other show. But I imagine there's going to be a lot of varying opinions on the show. I love this show. It was probably, like I said, this is still a New Japan show, I would say, and this is probably my favorite. Even if you took out the Noah matches, I would say this is still probably, and the 0-1 match, I would still say this is probably one of my favorite New Japan shows in a very long time. And New Japan, coming off the last year, they had a pretty good year last year, in my opinion, a much better year than they have had. I like the Noah style a little better, and like a lot of the guys in Noah a lot better. And by the way, speaking of which, not trying to dog New Japan, the Noah guys definitely got the bigger pops. It was kind of surprising how much more it seemed over the Noah guys were, particularly since Noah doesn't seem to be as popular right now as New Japan, but it was very odd to me. Maybe it's just the way it came through, because the way they had the sound for these shows was kind of messed up. The announcing, the sound wasn't right, and the crowd was definitely not, I don't want to say not mic'd properly, but you definitely couldn't tell. You could tell the crowd was in the matches, but you couldn't hear them very well, I guess is the way it was. So I guess they weren't mic'd properly. But anyways, all of that said, this is a great freaking show. I would say get on YouTube, find this show somewhere, and hopefully TNA releases this complete show when they release the DVD, because this show was freaking awesome. I loved it. I think most people who like just pro wrestling in general would have fun with this show. There's, like I said, other than the Team 3D match, there's nothing that's horrible on this show. Everything is, and there's very little that's just okay. Everything else is good to great. So it is a long show, though. I will say that. But I watched it. It went through pretty quickly for me. Very good. Lots of varying styles of wrestling. I would say, unless you're just a die-hard, hardcore guy, except for that, there's probably pretty much something for everybody on this show. Definitely go check it out. See what, go out there, check this out. I give it a big time thumbs up. Awesome freaking show. I'm out. Later.